like Days of Future Past better than
Yes.
what's it called?
Yes.
Days of Future Past was crazy.
I
Wait,
can
was
watch
that the crossover one? That was the crossover one, right?
Yeah.
Days of Future Past was
Days of Future Past.
the crossover one.
With the
Yeah, that's
Sentinels. With the Sentinels.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
That joint was crazy.
But
Yeah,
man,
that's
Why
the
they
one I
kill
meant.
Storm? Why they kill Storm like that?
Yo,
I-
she
They
that
came
was
right.
threw her off the cliff.
Oh my
off the cliff quick.
Woo!
And-
Holly.
Yo, if you go back and watch that movie, look at the particular kills, like the way the Sentinels are doing it. There's things I missed. I didn't even know. Like they ripped off Homeboy's arm.
Yeah.
Colossus.
arm. But the way they're doing stuff, like it was
They
it's moving
cracked
very
Iceman's head, the ice cubes
that part.
to shave the ice.
that
Part.
joint was like,
I missed
oh!
it, Ricky.
No,
So-
crushed ice. Crushed ice. That's what I'm trying to say.
Crushed
Iceman
ice.
got hit the crushed
Crushed ice.
Somebody
It was
at the bottom line.
Whoa!
They were ruthless.
He was the
Right.
good kind of ice, the Chick-fil-A ice.
Yo, shut up.
Nah, for real though, Chick-fil-A got some banging ice.
Yo, that ice is fire.
Talk about the ice.
The ice is fire.
That ice is fire.
The ice is banging. Like
Like
It does add
it's
to
up there. It's up there with hospital ice.
Yo, hospital ice hit different too. Right, because you can't eat that now.
Niggas be like, I'm about to break my leg. I want some ice. What's up, everybody? My name is Ricky, and welcome to another episode of Turn to Your Neighbor, the show where me and some of my very good friends invite you into some of our most intimate and sometimes ridiculous conversations and debates. And today's episode is dedicated to the inner child in all of us. From the days of slowly taking off the plastic of a new comic book to the extreme excitement of waiting for opening night of your favorite superheroes movie. And if you haven't figured it out by now, today's episode is about Marvel and the entire Marvel universe. Iron Man, the Hulk, Captain America, Black Panther. Today, we're going to talk about them all. So without further ado, let me introduce you to my special guests and the biggest Marvel fans that I know. We have Danelle Anderson, Tyreek Bowie, Mike Stauffer, and Avery Collins. Yo, I appreciate y'all for coming out today, man. I really do. Especially you, Danelle, because I know you a busy man. So thank you for coming out, bro. So now before we say another word, I want to dedicate this episode to the late, great Chadwick Boseman. His impact on the culture and specifically his role as Black Panther changed the world. And when I think about it, I'm still shocked. Like I just heard the tragic news today. Bowie, what was your reaction when you heard the tragic news of the passing of Chadwick Boseman?
Well, my first thought was like, wow, what happened, right? Obviously. And then as you continue to read, you see he died from cancer. But then my next thought was like, I wonder how many young Black boys' dreams died with him. You know, just to see him up on the screen, it was like, shoot, I'm 31 now. But when I saw it, I was like, yo, I want to be Black Panther. So when I saw that he died, I was like, I wonder how many other Black boys, younger Black boys, was like, part of them died also. So my heart went out to them. And then afterwards, it was like, well, what they gonna do next? Like, how they gonna make this work? Because they better not just let this thing die. Even though if they did, I guess, you know, it would make sense, but they shouldn't. But that was also a thought I had.
There has to be some type of tribute. Like
Yeah,
it can't go with the Marvel has to do some type of tribute.
Something.
What about you, Danelle? Danelle, I think you might be muted. Can you hear Danelle? That's all right.
It's all good. He's resting his voice. You know, he got
You know,
that
he gotta sing
silky
tomorrow.
smooth. He got to sing tomorrow, so he's resting and he like, you know, or it's a new singing technique we've never even peeped.
Or
It's just like, oh snap!
There you go. There you go.
Hey!
How can we hear him then?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, amen.
Great. Okay, we'll just leave it at that.
Look at you with the Wakanda trees in the background.
Wow.
I mean, the dude, he's the king, so you know. Did you show him star on
Here
your
we
floor?
go. Here
Did
we
you show
go.
him star? He's an angel. Did you see his wings? Did you see his
I
wings?
see.
They don't know what you're referring to. They didn't see that. Gosh. Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right, cool.
So, Janelle, what was your reaction when you heard the tragic news that Chadwick Boseman passed away?
So my reaction, I actually was shocked, and I didn't have much time to process before I was with family. So somebody yelled it across the living room. Everybody reacted. And my other cousin got a text immediately. I got a text, and then I went to my timeline, and it was everywhere. So I was like, wow, that was fast. I felt selfish. Like I felt like I should have knew, like a family member. Like I felt like you stepped into a role of a hero for me, and then you knew this was coming, and we had no warning that you were going to be taken from us, because I think he understood it. Like he knew he was a passionate role for us, but it felt like a shock, like a almost personal family shock. But I had to like stop being selfish, because I realized that man did everything he did with his illness and never used that as anything to hold him back, while he was doing all this work all these years for us, and just giving out his talent and his gifts for everybody in the world to see. So that then inspired me more than made me feel selfish and hurt. But then I did see the kids' reactions on social media, and that did make me hurt again, because I was like, wow, yeah, he really was like a pivotal role outside of film. And it was the first that I think any of us in my lifetime have ever seen. So it was kind of a hard hit.
Yeah. What about you, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much like everybody else. I was shocked and, you know, obviously upset, but it's crazy, right? Because like you don't truly know what's going on in someone's life either, because I personally had no idea. I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but I had no idea that he was even sick. So like the fact that, you know, like kind of what Danelle was hitting on there, the fact that he even did all those things that he did, I mean, just look at it, like Civil War, Black Panther, he did Marshall, you know, he did Infinity Wars, Endgame, like all those Marvel movies he was sick for. Like that's crazy. Like what he had, stage 3 cancer, that's nothing to sniff at. And this man is out here making a living day in and day out, making movies. Like that's crazy. But besides just being like shocked, I think I was a little more selfish, I think, than everybody else, because one of the first things that kind of came to my head was, okay, so what happens now to that role of Black Panther? Like what happens to the movies? Because yeah, I mean, you have guys, Marvel's replaced roles before, like Terrence Howard as War Machine or Edward Norton as the Hulk. Those roles were replaced, but those guys were each in one movie. Like Black Panther was Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick Boseman was Black Panther. Like that, he made that role. So like you can't. There's no way to replace him. You know what I mean? Like what are you gonna do now? So, I mean, that part to me is the lingering question, like what's gonna happen. But yeah, I mean, just sad stuff, really upsetting. But yeah, that was my initial take on it.
Yeah. What about you, Avery? What was your reaction when you found out?
Basically the same, man. I was shocked. The way I found out, I have a friend who is a songwriter. He's out in LA, so you know, they get a lot of updates faster than we do when it comes to that side of the business. And he threw it in our group chat and said that he passed away. And I was like, nah, that's not true. I couldn't believe it. It was a situation where I'm like, it was like the Kobe situation where it's like, I don't believe it. It's not real. And then I looked into it. I checked his Instagram, and they had confirmed it, and that's when I knew that was it. And I was heartbroken. I'm just gonna be honest. I've followed his career from the beginning. He's one of my favorite actors. I follow his career more than anyone else's. The next behind him is Lakeith Stanfield. So like he is just he's in the hierarchy of you know, guys that I kind of look up to in that realm. So having that happen was painful, because it felt like we just got him. right? And it was like, we just got the Black Panther, we just got that character, we just got that person, and now he's gone. And it's bad. It's kind of like in Infinity War when, you know, he got disintegrated by Thanos, and everybody's like, wait, we just got this dude one movie, you better not kill him off.
Yeah.
And then it's like it happened in real life, and it's like it's so painful. And it just goes back to, I saw a post the other day that just kind of resonated with me, especially after hearing the news. It said, stop being on bad terms with people that you love, because death is real and it's random. You don't know when it's coming. We don't know. And it could be any one of us, it could be any person, but, you know, give people their roses. But I think the biggest thing is like everybody said, his strength throughout this entire process. I love the fact that he was continuing to do what he was passionate about. I love the fact that his family didn't leak the information. I love the fact that the people around him supported him in that way. And I love the fact that he didn't make any excuses. He just continued to fight. And I appreciate him. You know, his legacy is going to live on, kind of like what Mike said. You know, he was Black Panther, like, you know, Robert Downey Jr. was Iron Man, you know, like, you know, Chris Hemsworth is Thor, right? These guys are, you know, so it's going to be hard to replace him, but, you know, he's always going to be the originator.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's like he was such an inspiration, and we're millennials, but like he was an inspiration really, really to the younger kids. Like children really adored that man. Like, I see a and they grew up with the black superhero. You know, black kids want to be him, and other races want to be him too. What's up, H?
And that was one of the things that broke my heart even more. I have a friend who, her son is a huge Black Panther fan. Has, you know, Black Panther paraphernalia everywhere in his room. He's a young kid, you know, maybe 5 years old. And she recorded a video of her telling him that the Black Panther passed away. And it was so heartbreaking because she held him in her lap and said, you know, you know this guy, you remember who he is and everything. And he was like, yeah. And she's like, well, I just want to let you know that he passed away. And his reaction was so heartbreaking. He didn't cry. He didn't break down. He just put his head on her chest and was in utter silence. And it was like, just to see a 5-year-old kid kind of process that was just heartbreaking.
Yeah, Black Panther was probably the moment that he really was like, wow, I love superhero movies. I love Marvel. And us being older, when did you guys realize that, wow, I really love Marvel? Like, Marvel is definitely something I'm going to follow throughout my lifetime. When did you guys first fall in love with Marvel?
Man.
Or
listen, mine was with my brother. My brother, he was heavy, or at least it seemed like he was heavy into X-Men. So early 90s, when that cartoon came, what's the theme song? Yeah. Do it, because I can't do it right now.
So, man, if you don't do that theme song.
No. But I used to see them. I used to see that thing come on, then they run into each other at the end.
Yeah.
I'm in this joint. So yeah. That's when I learned, like, all right, I like Marvel. But I didn't even know it was Marvel, actually. I was like, oh, I like X-Men. And then I figured out later it was Marvel Comics. I was like, okay, all right, I'm with Marvel. I don't know about that Superman in DC, but, you know.
Oh, man. Stop.
I guess I was a little different then, because so I originally got into Batman first in the 90s because of the Batman movies. And then I don't remember the exact year, early 2000s, the original Spider-Man movies came out with Tobey Maguire. And then, like, I think that's what hooked me, because that's kind of when I started going, okay, so there's Marvel and there's DC. Like, this is the time I was old enough at this point to be like, okay, there's two different universes. I can get behind this. But that was kind of my jumping off point. So from there, I'm just getting, like, anything Marvel I could get my hands on at that point, I was doing. Like video games, comic books, anything Marvel, I was all in for.
Right. And for me, it's been a lifelong thing. I'm gonna be completely honest. My cousins put me on, like, as soon as I could talk. They had, like, literal, like, treasure chests full of Marvel comics. I mean, they still have them, probably worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, original limited edition comics that.
What's their address?
Right.
But they put me on, and they kind of, and you have your older cousins that you look up to or whatever, and different things like that. So I wanted to be like them and different things like that. So I started to kind of dive into it, and I'm like, yo, I love this whole Marvel thing. And Spider-Man was like just the guy at the time. So it was just like, yo, oh my goodness, I can't get enough of this. DC is cool, but it was just something about the Marvel universe that just kind of reeled me in and kind of hooked me. And then like Mike said, the movies they started coming out with was just like, that was just kind of the nail in the coffin for me. I was like, golly, these dudes are really something different. And then, just doing some research on the movies themselves and what they meant, what the X-Men was truly about and what it actually stood for. I was like, you know what? You can't beat this. So
what's X-Men? DC could never. That's what I keep hearing. It's not a comparison. What does the other X-Men stand for? Like, what's the story?
Any type
X-Men,
of injustice, any type of people
it's
that
actually centered around
marginalized.
The civil rights movement.
It is.
What's his name? Magneto is signified to represent the Malcolm X type person, and then Professor X is signified to be more of a Martin Luther King, nonviolent, different things like that. But and just the fact that Stan Lee was conscious enough, number one, number two, bold enough, right? Exactly, bold enough to, not just put it out there, but to confirm that no, this is how I wrote these different characters. It's a beautiful thing. So like I said, things like that just hooked me. And now it's just the nostalgia of Marvel is just like you can't beat it.
Well, R.I.P. Stan Lee.
Yeah.
That was another.
Look, he was what, like 90 something? He lived
a good life. How many movies was he in?
Honestly, how many people get to see like something they started doing, 40, 50, 60 years ago, however old he was when he started, grow to what he had at right before he died? Like, that's crazy, man.
Yeah,
crazy.
Oh, man.
What about you, Danelle? When did you fall in love with Marvel?
I had the same background as Bowie as far as
That sounds about right.
Now,
I'm sorry.
Come on.
Shut up. So
go ahead. Tell your story.
Thank you, because it's mine. I watched X-Men first as a child, and yes, the theme music used to get me. He reminded me about the Clash joint at the end because that used to light up my whole Saturday morning. It was that, and I was addicted to a lot of like good cartoon shows at the time. So that was one of the real good ones, and power-based. That was kind of dope to me. I think it was the powers that kind of drew me in. And yeah, but it was just a lot of action, and that was dope. It's colors and powers and Jubilee with fireworks and stuff. I was like, oh man,
not Jubilee.
Right. It's crazy. It's crazy. Her powers were hard.
She used to just do it on like surprise, like she would not even know. So it was funny to me to watch her with her power, particularly because she would always be shocked. And I would be like, it's doing nothing. All that stuff.
Right, it's just you just blinding people.
The other thing that made me love it was like, because I've always been a reader and a writer, and so as a youngster, I was like, the writing in these comics are just phenomenal. Like the storylines, I'm like, you know what? Everything lines up, nothing misses, everything it just makes sense. Here's a throwback for y'all. Y'all remember the game Dreamcast?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Y'all remember that game? Come on, somebody tell me.
Well, you talking about the
Marvel versus Capcom?
Wait, talk about.
Somebody tell him. Somebody tell him.
All right.
The first time I played that game, it was in Pulling Out. And you ain't know the buttons. It was on the regular joint. You just
yeah.
Joystick, 4 buttons.
You hit everything.
Yeah.
The arcade version.
Arcade.
I've never been
Marvel vs. Capcom.
I just button mashed one button. I've never been good. Movie always put my ass. Always.
Well,
we 30 years old still playing that game. So
pretty much.
They come out with a new one right now. I'm getting it just because
I'm watching the trailer. And then I'm getting it.
Yep, and you're gonna be disappointed by the trailer probably, but still buy it.
So guys, since we're talking about it, we're talking about how we fell in love with Marvel. But right now, if you were thinking about it, who's your favorite Marvel character? I know you might have fell in love with X-Men at first. Did you really follow a character like that's my guy or that's my girl throughout the whole series, or did it change? Do you have a favorite Marvel character?
I want to hear this.
Oh, here we go.
I'm an Iron Man fan because of the movies. Now, I was a Gambit fan growing up because I did like the X-Men. Gambit was cool, kind of smooth. I was like, okay, Gambit.
Sound about right.
Trying to chase Rogue around. But because of the movies and the swagger and the attitude and charisma of Tony Stark, I became a super Iron Man fan. What about y'all?
I want to say I started out with, what was it? When I first started seeing X-Men, it was Iceman. I thought his powers was the dopest at the time. This man was sliding all over the place. Nobody could get him. And I never
was sliding into DMs, right?
Sliding everywhere, sliding. And then he would freeze stuff, and I was like, oh man, that joint dope. So I thought his power was sick. Then it changed to Spider-Man once that cartoon came out, and then the movies, like Mike said, started coming out. I thought they translated that really well as far as like what we didn't think was possible to view on film. It became real. And I was like, oh, we're moving. Like this is what we're doing now. And then they took us
upside down.
Yeah. They told us a calendar projection of like Marvel movies to come all the way up to like what? At the time it was like 2015. So I said, oh, I'm gonna be watching this till I'm like, like an adult. This is great. So I had that I was gonna be a fan till today. So I would say it probably went to more of the Hulk. Is where I'm at now, and not just because of our inside jokes, but
or your physique a little bit.
No, he's just a great character. Kind of like unbeatable and whatnot. So I like,
smashes doors and.
So I mean, you guys might have a hard time believing this, but my Marvel character is Captain America. All right.
Oh.
What? Did you think I was gonna say somebody else? Come on.
Listen, I was on the edge of my seat. Like, what are you gonna say, girl?
No, but so when I originally fell in love with Marvel, I was big on the Hulk, right? Incredible Hulk. He was larger than life. He had a bunch of movies out, dating way back. So like growing up, I found a way to watch like as much Incredible Hulk as I could. Some were better than others, but I'm kind of with Ricky on this one. As these new Marvel movies started coming out, I don't know. I don't know if I just overlooked Captain America before, but like the more I watched and the more I learned and the more I just got as much information about Captain America as I could. I love everything Captain America stands for. It's perfect. Everything he does is brilliant. Everything.
I'm gonna need you to watch Ryan Davis's take on Captain America. You might change your mind. You might change your mind on him. You might.
Captain America will be nothing without his drug pusher. All right. he was a skinny nerd.
He always had that inside him.
Oh, look at you. He always had it deep within.
He can do it all day, baby.
Yeah, you leaning in the camera.
Listen, go on YouTube, type in Ryan Davis, Captain America. I'm telling you, it might change your perspective.
I just watched that too.
All right.
All right, listen.
Write it down.
Talk about
listen.
Well, I'll learn. I love it.
There's only one correct answer here, man.
Oh, only one.
There's only one correct answer here. Okay. And it's gotta be Spider-Man, right? Spider-Man is my favorite all time. He might be the greatest Marvel character in the history of Marvel. You know, number one, Stan Lee loved him, right? Stan Lee said that Spider-Man was his favorite that he ever created. The universe of Spider-Man was his favorite that he ever created. Spider-Man is the only one who's never lost to anyone. Not one Marvel character has been able to beat Spider-Man. Now, has Spider-Man lost battles? Sure. He has not lost wars. He cannot. That Spidey sense is legit. You know what I'm saying? So Spider-Man, I mean, and then he's relatable, right? He's just an inner city kid who's kind of, you know, he's nerdy. He didn't want the powers, but he got it. He didn't want the responsibility, but he got it. And that, I think we all can relate to that as adults. It's like we grow up and we're like, dang, bills and all of this. I really don't want to do it, but at the same time, I got to do it. We've all related to a story as far as like losing people that we love. We've all related to a story of having that girl. It's like, man, I want you so bad, but at the same, I mean, he's the most relatable character to me. I love Spider-Man. He's my guy. I could give you my top 5 favorites, but I'm gonna just, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna just say my favorite is Spider-Man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Spider-Man.
I think Thanos might have something to say about never losing.
Oh.
He never. Hey,
He got smacked around.
Hey,
Tony.
Did he die? Did he die? Did he die?
No, he didn't die.
He just went. He got. Nah, he just went. He went to space and ended up saving the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, he was out here.
Thanks to who? Tony Stark.
Listen, Cap.
Why did Tony do it though?
Right. I got you right. All right.
Captain America also busted that ass in Civil War, so don't you forget that. All right.
Whoa. All right, so let's put things in context, right? We're not talking about young Spider-Man that we're seeing in Marvel movies. We're talking about Spider-Man.
All right.
Spider-Boy.
Let's talk about how. You know what I'm saying? Come on now.
I can get down with that. All right.
I can't say Spider-Man is in my top 5. He's a very fun character. He's definitely relatable. He's fun.
Yeah.
He's in everybody. If he's not in your top 5, you don't like Marvel. That's how I feel.
Oh well, I mean,
he's not your top.
You're not a Marvel fan if Spider-Man is not in your top.
I'm partial to all day.
Oh, all right.
I get.
It's hard for me to move away from X-Men, regardless.
No.
They put out whatever character they put out, and it's like, yo, that story or that character.
You better find a way.
Yo, I'm X-Men all day.
You can lump the X-Men in one though. Like you can just
don't
be
do
like,
that.
That's one.
They
like,
individuals. They individuals.
I'm saying you could. So you mean to tell me there's 5 people in the X-Men that you would take over Spider-Man?
No. See what you had said was.
Oh, all right.
Possibly.
If you don't put him in your top 5, you're not a Marvel fan. I'm just saying, most of them spots may be taken up by others before he.
Listen, even if he's number 5, I'm okay with that. He just better be in the 5.
Boy, who's your top Marvel character?
All right, well, listen. So, like I said, I'm partial to X-Men, so I couldn't decide. So I got Storm, Nike, and this one gonna throw y'all off just a little bit, just because it's nostalgia, and that's probably why I picked my people. Spike. Y'all remember Spike?
X-Men Evolution.
Okay.
Yo.
Okay.
And I saw Spike on that skateboard with the Johns.
Okay.
Oh man.
Because it's been a long time since X-Men was out.
That.
It came out, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's Spike.
I like that.
Storm every day. He related. I like him. So
that was cool.
I like that.
Between the 3.
Yeah, Spike X-Men Evolution was the show.
It was.
What was the best? What was your favorite Marvel TV show?
Oh.
TV show.
Now I have to say, it's between obviously an X-Men show, X-Men Evolution to be exact, and a Spider-Man show. This original Spider-Man. Like, yo, wait, time out. Y'all remember when I think it was Nickelodeon had that Spider-Man shit? Like they was like 3D type joint. I was like, first off, I don't even remember the name of it. I was like, first off, I gotta watch it because ain't no other cartoons on right now. But this joint is stupid, and these things look crazy. But I between X-Men and Spider-Man.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, mine's not as nostalgic as that. There's this 21st century thing called Netflix now. So, and if anybody in this call has not seen Daredevil, I mean,
listen, we're not going to talk about Daredevil. You gotta be on hyped up and doped up on something to get through episode 2.
No, no,
Nigga
no,
sleep.
you gotta
It is
watch
a little
it.
slow. It is a
Tom,
little
yes.
slow.
I fell asleep
You have
on
to watch
that
it.
part on this.
Oh my God!
Each time. It did not.
You got
I literally opened
Daredevil.
all my curtains, turned on all my.
Oh my, okay, nah. See, you're watching it wrong. That's the problem.
You
You
gotta
gotta understand.
in my house. Like what
You
you
gotta,
mean?
you gotta understand who Daredevil is. You're
I
talking
know
about
who Daredevil is. I like Daredevil.
Bowie.
he
First
fighting
off,
the
the show is
hand.
dark.
Like, what
The show is dark. Ain't fights in that whole dang series.
Have you seen
You
season
know what
3?
you're seeing.
Have you seen season 3?
You can't get past episode
You
1.
get past the second episode of First John.
oh my goodness gracious.
I fall asleep every time. Every time I fall asleep.
The
Get
Kung
to
Fu
season
and
3.
Daredevil is better than the Kung Fu and
Not-
Iron
It's
Fist.
probably after episode 2.
Bowie,
Iron Fist either.
what are you
Probably
doing?
after
Iron
episode
Fist
2.
was it was a little
What's
shaky.
Daredevil?
A little shaky.
I watched,
listen,
what was it,
bro,
Jessica? What was the Jessica
Jessica
joint?
Jones.
Yeah, I sadly watched that longer than I did the other.
Yeah, I made it through that longer. Yup.
Hey, real quick,
Wait, no, you
Jessica
don't
Jones.
watch Daredevil either?
Jessica Jones has one of the
Man,
best
has-
villains ever.
Who is her villain? I don't think I made it to that part.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
What are you guys doing?
What's
Listen.
happening? What's
I
happening?
didn't watch The Punisher.
I gotta give out
Did you
homework.
watch? Wait. Did you watch Punisher now?
Huh?
Did you watch Punisher?
I remember him showing up in Daredevil at some point, but I didn't get that far because
I need
You
a
got-
water break. I need a
fell
water break.
asleep. I fell
All right,
asleep.
we're gonna have to lay hands on these two brothers because
Hey.
I don't know what
Tell
is
him to
happening.
put some lights on in Daredevil. Maybe I'll make it.
You killing me, man.
But the
That's
action.
rough.
Did they do that on purpose because he blind?
I'm-
Wow.
Hey, yo, don't do that. Don't do that.
No, there's some day scenes. There's some day scenes.
No, it is. Even during the day, it'd be dark.
Bowie. You and Danelle are coming over to my house and we're watching all 3 seasons of
No.
Daredevil.
I'm not trying to be funny. I
Call
really
me-
wasn't
call
trying to
me
be
when you get to
funny.
season 3.
I really think that was tactical. That was tactical. They did that.
You need to watch Daredevil. You need to stop playing and watch Daredevil. For real.
Listen, man. I feel like you definitely have to watch Daredevil. You got to watch Punisher because it makes a lot of the movies tie into, especially Jessica Jones. Like, and the reason I say because Kilgrave is one of the best. I feel like Kilgrave could be one of the best villains ever. Like, because of the power that he has, the control that he could have over certain things and people and timelines will be ridiculous. You got to watch these shows, man.
That sounds like Jean Grey. Wait.
Well, you check it out.
You gotta
So-
check it out. Come on, man. My favorite is probably my favorite show with like physical people is definitely The Punisher. That joint was just fire. Bro was out there snapping on everybody. Like it was
Both
beautiful.
seasons.
Both seasons he was just wilding. It was great. But as far as cartoon, well, I'm sure y'all can figure that out. Yeah, y'all can figure that answer out.
Gotcha. Spidey head. So I'm going to move to a topic where we've all seen every single one of these, I hope. The Marvel movies. All right? I'm sure we're going to exclude a couple previous Incredible Hulk movies. The more recent.
Hey,
Don't you A those.
It's a good choice. It's a good
Well,
choice.
Not Lou Ferrigno. Not Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah,
2008 probably would be good.
yeah, 2008.
Okay. All right, we'll do the first one.
So my next question is, what are your top 5 Marvel movies? Top 5 Marvel. It's so many, and I was thinking about it myself, and it's hard because they're all really good.
Let me consult my
Okay.
notes.
So-
Okay. We got a
Oh,
note
nope.
taker.
You got notes?
I had to write some things down. Yeah,
Oh,
I got mine.
Straight off the dome for me. All right.
I ain't going first though.
Danelle, go first.
Oh.
Straight off the dome. Go first.
All right.
Danelle, what are your top 5 favorite Marvel movies?
All right. So I would say, as far as like how my passion for the movies started growing, I'm gonna go ahead and say X-Men, the first one, was on my list. The fact that I got to see Wolverine's claws in live action was it for me. Like they could have just in film, and I would have been real sad. No, it's like we needed a fight scene. So yeah, it was worth it. That was
First
one.
of all, Wolverine's been Wolverine for a long time.
Long time.
That's another topic for another day. But shout out to Hugh Jackman. Go
They
ahead.
killed them off
Fact.
real nice. They killed
Big
them
fact.
off good. That was good.
That's why when he said he wanted to stop, I was a little upset, but then I had to think about it. Like, I've known you since I was what? 13?
No, keep going.
See, that's not right.
Bro, like 68, bro. He got, I mean,
He's gotta
So
stop.
keep going.
Gotta stop. Like,
You can
he
yourself.
want to
Feel
sing
yourself.
now.
Keep going.
He's trying to get on his. He's trying to sing now. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
dude,
He's
Right.
the greatest showman.
he stage left.
hey, I see what you did there.
That was nice. Really nice. The next one I would say was Spider-Man. Like I told you earlier, the translation from cartoon to TV and film, I was pretty much impressed. So
The
that was
first-
two.
The first Spider-Man.
The first Spider-Man.
Okay.
I'm going next.
Yes, the first. I know Avery going next. Then I would follow it up with Iron Man, because if it wasn't for him, we're just gonna put a respect out there on that man for giving us that first movie. Thank you. We would not have made it. Can I get an amen from the church? We would not have made it.
Amen, my brother.
We would not have
You
made
only
it. To
got
the
one
end.
in your congregation.
All right. And that's
Got
fine.
one.
All you need is one. All you need is
You need
one.
two. We're
All
two.
you need is one. Me and him. That's it.
You don't
Two.
count because you asking.
We're in there. Me and him. Iron Man was super dope, especially when they slow-mode the particular part of the movie where they slow-mode his suit going on his body and the way that it was coming together on his body and the way the camera hit every angle of that suit. Done.
I think that was the best origin movie, in my opinion.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
For sure, without question. I don't think there's a debate. He has the best backstory origin movie of all of the Marvel. The recent, where we're talking about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Yeah, for sure.
Yep. I'm going to follow it up with, I'm pretty sure there's stuff in between, but for me, the next one was Avengers, the first movie. We are talking about Marvel, yes. There was a secret passion outside of Marvel I enjoyed. It was called Justice League. So when Avengers blessed us on film, this was like a secret enjoyment I was getting because I couldn't get one, but the Lord blessed me with Avengers. And
then they tried with DC.
It
didn't go well. They tried.
I didn't even mention it. I didn't even mention it. I just
all
skipped
this DC shade is just.
I just skipped
You just gonna get. Just keep waiting for them to get it right.
They just don't.
Yeah, I don't know. They had the wrong producers. I don't know what to tell you on that one. But anyway, Marvel's doing what they need to be doing, and they've been blessed. So then it was Avengers. The first one was really, really good. Started the tone real well. Captain America did his thing. He put my boy Hulk in it. He smashed throughout the city. No bad context included there. He killed it.
That's hilarious.
The last one I would say was Endgame. Endgame. I haven't had a movie experience, and I called actually Mike right below me immediately when that movie was over, and we had a very good dialogue. And I haven't had that much of a movie experience in a long time as a whole audience, like
You're
the
not
entire audience.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that one.
Yeah. So those are my top 5.
All right.
Not a bad top 5. It's not bad at all. I disagree, but it's not a bad top 5.
It's not bad.
Yeah, so
school him, Avery. School him.
I'm gonna go number 5. I'm gonna go 6-man first. I'm gonna give it 6-man.
We get a 6.
I'm gonna go 6-man here. I wanted to put this in my top 5, but some recent things happened, and I was like, I solidified my top 5. So this is my 6-man Iron Man. Now that could be the original, any one of the Iron Man movies. My personal favorite is Iron Man 3, but I love all the Iron Man movies. They are phenomenal.
All of them.
Even two?
Iron Man 2 is the lowest on the totem pole, but I do like the Iron Man movie because of I like Iron Man 2 just because of, like I said, his story was done very well.
Right.
It was just done very, very well. And so I have to include 2 in the compilation of that. So those are my 6 men right there. Here we go. Now, some people gonna be upset with me who I got in number 5, but it's okay. I don't care. Black Panther comes in at number 5. Black Panther was done very well. I don't think it was one of the better Marvel cinematic movies, but for what it did for the culture was phenomenal. What they did as far as bringing in Black Panther and Killmonger into the universe, and what they did with Wakanda and all those different things. Say again?
Except for that wig, I don't know.
Yeah,
why
no, that
was
rough. That was rough. But
Oh my
I
God.
was like, is this Marvel or a Tyler Perry play?
bro,
no.
heavy, right?
no. Shout out to the newest billionaire.
Hey, shout it out.
Hey,
Tyler, I want no more wigs like that because you got $1 billion.
Exactly.
Facts. Well, that's how he got $1 billion. He wasn't spending money on the good wigs.
That's it.
So yeah, number 5, I have to go with Black Panther. All right. Coming in at number 4, I'm gonna go Captain America Civil War. That movie was fire. Super lit. I love that movie. I love the fight scenes in that movie were top 5. Like, they were ridiculous. I was like, yo, this is good. And it was setting up some pretty intense fight scenes to come. So I was like, yo, yeah, nah, this is super lit. I loved Captain America Civil War. It was, and you know, when Spidey came out and took a shield with the it was just that was just pure, just I don't even know. I don't even have a word for what it was.
All you do is
that's
It
us.
was just a letter.
All right. Coming in at number 3, I'm going to go with Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange was fire. I don't care what nobody says. Doctor Strange was lit. I like the context that they put it in. I like how, like, it gave me Inception vibes, as well as you know, Interstellar vibes, as well as, you know, it was just another Marvel movie with just, it was just super fire. Like, there's just visually, it was extremely creative. Even like if you wanted to kind of look at it from a deeper perspective of what they were talking about, or what you could perceive that they were talking about in the movie, was super dope. I loved it. It was extremely phenomenal, and I loved how they tied that in to the storyline, because I didn't think that was coming, but that one was like, oh snap, okay, Marvel, y'all are up to something. Y'all are the beast for real. Coming in at number 2 is the Avengers Endgame. You know that. Say it again. Yeah, number 2. That's number 2. That is number 2. It comes in at number 2. Just because of obviously nostalgia, number 1, right? All those characters in one movie, getting busy, getting down. The fight scenes were crazy. I mean, it was phenomenal. I'm gonna move past that, because I can talk about that all day.
Right.
Coming in at number 1. Now, I was torn. I'm not gonna lie. I was torn at this number 1. I was very torn. Originally I was gonna say Guardians of the Galaxy. That movie is so underrated. It's a really good movie. It's such a good Marvel movie, man. I really wanted to put it in at number 1. But, and I don't know if my number 1 is considered a Marvel movie, and I really don't care. But the greatest Marvel movie is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse with Miles Morales. It is the best Marvel movie, period. I don't care what nobody says. That movie was straight flames, dog. Like, everything about it was fire. It's the best Spider-Man movie ever. It's the best Marvel movie ever. Like, that joint is, yo, come on, yo. Period.
I'm gonna stop you real quick. I'm gonna say that the 2 movies you just named Guardians of the Galaxy and The End of the Spider-Verse, I had very low expectations. I was like, I gotta see Guardians because it's a Marvel movie. Blew my mind away. I took my little cousin to see the cartoon Spider-Man. Blew my mind away. So they caught me with a haymaker. They snuck me with those 2. And I think that also made it such a better movie, because I wasn't expecting what happened.
Yeah.
Seriously.
It was phenomenal.
Go ahead,
So while I Into the Spider-Verse, I wouldn't rank in my Marvel movies. Now,
Respect.
Right. But the only thing I will say is I think it's because it's got the comic book vibe to it. All right. So like, I loved that movie. I thought that movie was tops. Like, I really enjoyed it. I just thought it fell in a different category. So that I would say that's why it didn't make my top 5. But yes,
I completely understand that. So like I said, if I can't include it, then I'm going to go Guardians of the Galaxy. But like if I can, then I'm going Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse. I mean, that it was done so well. Like I was literally, I'm like, it's a cartoon. I'm on the edge of my seat like, yo, this joint is crazy. Like the intense scenes felt really intense, like it was actual people. I'm like, oh,
this movie is great.
Loved it, man.
All right. Who's up next?
All right, Bowie. Do you want me to go?
I'll go. I'll let you go last. So these are not in any order because that was just too.
That's a cop.
No, that's too much. I can't do that.
Boo that man.
This is his list.
All right. So obviously.
Okay.
X-Men.
Which one?
X-Men. All right. So listen, I couldn't decide between the very first one because this is the first time. Yeah, I mean, I'm like, oh my gosh, Wolverine and Storm is on the big screen, right? So that was how I felt. But then First Class, and the reason why I did First Class is because the way they switched them characters around, amazing. You ain't even feel like I was like Holly Berry. Who? This is the. It was just, I was like, that was a smooth ass transition. I forgot
the best transition of characters ever.
So I can't decide between the two, between nostalgia or just pure, that was smart and slick.
Yeah,
I'll say something real quick.
They did a real good job on that.
From that to Future Past and merging, like I was like, wow. Like they know what they was doing with that one.
Yeah, man, they did.
Trying to compete with Marvel Cinematic Universe because Sony still had the rights then. So
right,
it's like they were trying to compete.
Exactly.
Anybody else?
They did pretty good.
Anyone else really hyped for the crossover?
Yep.
Of course. What?
I'm trying not to be because I don't.
You mean to tell me Marvel gets to get their hands on the X-Men and Silver
Avengers?
Surfer and
I
the
don't
Four?
like to be excited.
Avengers vs. X-Men is coming.
I'm purposefully not being excited.
No, Bowie, you're allowed to be excited. Marvel is the only thing that I've ever seen do everything right. They have not done wrong in every movie they've made. Everything has been just picture perfect.
I'm scared.
89%.
I'm just scared because they could. I just don't want to get my hopes up.
Man, I'm so excited. I cannot wait. Here's the biggest thing that I want to see. I can't wait for Marvel to get their hands on Silver Surfer. That's the movie because I know they're gonna snap with that, dog.
Yeah.
Oh my, Dormammu
Dora, Mom. Oh my goodness.
They have to do Fantastic Four correctly first.
Forget them. What? Forget them. We know what they do. Forget them.
It's clobbering time.
Right, like, come on, forget them. We know how y'all came to be.
Stop it. Reed Richards, you talking about?
They don't need their own They don't need their own movie.
So you don't bang with the Illuminati at all, then?
I sure don't. I don't know if this is a trick question.
I'm not talking about that Illuminati. I'm talking about in X-Men. You need Reed Richards. What are we talking about right now?
You can you can sprinkle him in someplace.
No.
You can't sprinkle that.
You can sprinkle
a member of the Illuminati, you gonna sprinkle a member of the Illuminati? Stop.
In there. You can't just
Stop.
sprinkle that.
You can't just sprinkle Galactus in it. Right. Like, come on.
What's the meme with the ball? They can. That ball.
Salt.
Yeah, the salt.
Go ahead, Bowie. Finish it.
All right, so Black Panther, obviously. Because this was the first time I heard my mom talk about a superhero movie. She was so proud of that movie. She was like, yo, oh my gosh, the colors, Tyreek, it was amazing. Like some other stuff. I was like, check you out, man. Out here watching movies. And
subliminals in that movie were fire too.
Yeah, man. And then obviously Endgame, because woo-wee, talk about just a nerd orgasm in the movie theater. Like that joint was something crazy. I was on the phone. Do you see this? Something crazy. And this might throw y'all for a loop, but Deadpool. I like Deadpool.
Oh,
It's because
Deadpool was fire.
we were limited by 5.
The rawness of Deadpool was just like, it didn't throw me off because I knew it was gonna happen. But how they did it, it was just what you envisioned Deadpool to be.
They had to make it rated R. They had to.
The only reason I didn't include Deadpool is because as a Marvel movie, it wasn't up to par with the other. It's just what's his name? Who plays Ryan Reynolds is hilarious.
But
He was the perfect fit for it. So
but Deadpool fighting looks like what? Exactly what they did.
It's good.
Yeah, I mean, like, so it's not gonna be a whole bunch of rays and all that other stuff that you see.
Oh, for sure.
So I think they did that perfectly. Deadpool.
Oh, I'm not saying they didn't do it perfectly. I'm just saying, like, in comparison to like the cinematic. Ugh.
But see, he don't need the cinematic stuff.
He
Oh,
plays
true.
his comic role.
He killed that
That's
role.
true.
Yes, he did.
He killed it.
And then my last one is Spider-Man Into the Multiverse. Like, my wife.
Right.
Yeah.
My wife was watching that and she looked over at me at the end and was like, that was good. I was like, wasn't it? Let's watch it.
Yeah.
So
Shout out to the wife.
So that drawing, that thing was, and I was like, yo, this is a cartoon. Look at this.
I think I had to keep telling myself that.
AMC experience. Like that was
Fire, dog. Fire from beginning to end.
yeah, that thing was nice.
Good.
But yeah, that's my top 5 in no particular order.
Gotcha. Cop out. All right, Mike, what's your top 5 Marvel movies?
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. So when I did this list, I had strictly the new Marvel movies in mind. So like I get where everybody else is coming from, but this is just how I did my list. All right, so I had a couple of honorary mentions, if you will, because I couldn't shuffle them into my top 5. All right.
Please say Incredible Hulk.
All these honoraries. I should have.
Please say Incredible Hulk.
I did love the Incredible Hulk movie, the one that came out right after the original Iron Man movie. I thought it was great. Bummed out that Ed Norton didn't stick around, but you know, Mark Ruffalo, you know, he was good. I think Ed Norton would have been better.
I agree.
I agree. I love Mark, but Ed was killing
it. Ed had it nailed. So here were my honorable mentions. All right, I had Iron Man, the original. I had the first Avengers movie. I had the first Captain America movie. So a lot of origin stories. And I had come on.
What was that last one? My fault. What's the last one?
Black Panther.
Gotcha.
So I had those 4 like in my honorable mentions. Those were just like 4 movies that I kept shuffling into my top 5 and then pulling out and replacing with other movies. So I had to include them on my list. So at number 5, I had Infinity War. So the first installment of the be all end all.
Oh, yeah. Great fight scenes.
Those fight scenes and
Fire.
and just the like the introduction to like all these characters mingling with each other for the first time is just like, I remember I watched that Infinity Wars trailer like 100 times the first time.
Yeah.
Because it was just so exciting to me. Like I had goosebumps every time I watched it. It was great. So that's why I had to put Infinity War in there. So that was my number 5. Number 4, I had Guardians of the Galaxy. Again, this kind of goes back to what Ricky said. I had very low expectations for this movie because going into it, I knew little to nothing about Guardians of the Galaxy. So when I watched it, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like that, it opened up a whole new world for me. So that was great. Number 3, and I'm surprised nobody mentioned this one yet. Winter Soldier.
Ooh. Good stuff.
Because what?
Not in the top 5. It's dope. It's dope. Not in the top 5.
Oh.
Not in the top 5. It's a fire movie. It's in the top 10. It's in the top 10.
You know what? You're right. It's tough. It was tough going through these movies to be like every Marvel movie I was looking at. I'm like, holy hell!
I'm not mad at Winter Soldier. I'm not mad at you putting it in your top 5. I just wouldn't personally put it in my top 5. But it's a fire movie.
But the emotion in that movie, I really liked I was a really big fan of that elevator scene. All those dudes.
That was hard.
How'd you feel about
that? Was hard.
Shield being taken from him?
I mean, so I'm a comic book guy, right? I mean, I knew it was coming eventually, but I was good with it. The way they did it in Winter Soldier was good. All right. So the ride they took you on is good. But yeah, that elevator scene where people just keep getting on and he just looks around and goes, "Does anybody want to get off before we get started?" Like,
beautiful. That might be top 5. That might be top 5 cinematic close contact fight scenes ever.
They had him pinned on the wall.
Yeah. That joint was crazy.
Yeah. So for that alone, that makes number 3.
Close quarters. I said close contact. Excuse me.
You're right. Close quarters. Number 2, Endgame. So like, kind of what everybody else was saying. The movie itself felt like it was building to the end, but like the moments that you get towards the end of the movie, like the big moments, just like the payoffs for, watching the last 10 years of movies is just like, they nailed it every single time. Everything Marvel did in this movie was just perfect. So like, for that reason alone, I boosted Endgame to number 2. Not for necessarily the movie itself, but for like the moments that it creates throughout the movie, I think are just, oh man. And then at number 1, I had Civil War. Captain America.
You love yourself some Captain America.
Come on, that was the first taste. We got of these guys fighting each other. All right. So this is the first time we had Cap versus Iron Man. Cap's, he had his squad versus Iron Man's squad, and like I just remember when they started running at each other, I was in my chair just like, I don't myself. Like that was one of the most intense moments I had at a movie theater. Just waiting to see what's gonna happen. So, Infinity War, Guardians of the Galaxy, Winter Soldier, Endgame, and then Civil War at number 1. That was my top 5.
All right.
Good list.
Not bad.
All right. So before we get out of here, I want to throw some Spitfire versus questions for you. We got a lot of Marvel characters, a lot of Marvel superheroes. I'm going to give you guys 1v1 who you got winning, okay? The first match we have Spider-Man versus Deadpool.
Spider-Man.
Deadpool really can't. I mean,
it's not about
I would say Deadpool.
You would say Deadpool?
I would say
contrary.
Spider-Man never killed nobody. He's not a killer.
That's right.
And so that's where the question: are we talking about to the death, or are we talking about I'm just going to continually beat you? Because if we're going to say I'm just going to continually beat you, probably 9 times out of 10, Spider-Man is going to win.
If you talk about to the death, Spider-Man getting his head chopped off with Deadpool. That man is dead.
Even till I'm gonna continually beat you, I think.
You got y'all are forgetting about this spider sense. Like I don't think the movies did justice to what spider sense
the last
really
one,
is.
Far from home.
Exactly. Like that, the spider sense is a real thing where it's just like it's not a reflex. I see it coming before it happens. Is what spider sense is. It's like something's coming, and I have to get out the way, right? And so like, as agile and as fast as Deadpool is, Spider-Man's that much faster. He's just as strong, if not stronger. I mean, and then you got to remember that he's got intellect as well. It's not like he's an idiot. He's a scientist. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, I just don't know if he would.
If you talk about to the death,
and that's what I said, to the death.
Opportunity.
To the death.
He's slicing Spider-Man up. Like, he did. Like,
to the death.
Deadpool finds that opening, and he's like, I gotta kill him now. He's Spider-Man's
right. Because I think you have to take that into consideration. You have to take into consideration that Deadpool will do literally anything it takes. Spider-Man actually has morals. Deadpool he doesn't care about anything.
So and then you gotta think about what is the loss. So if Spider-Man's dying for something, he'd gladly die for something, right? As opposed to Deadpool, he probably wouldn't do that. So it's just like, what are we counting as a loss? So it's just like it really depends. And so like I said, I think if it comes to the death, yeah, Deadpool would easily kill Spider-Man before Spider-Man will kill him. That doesn't mean Spider-Man can't kill Deadpool.
I mean, it wouldn't happen anyway. They're best friends, so we're cool.
Spider-Man is actually, what's the name? Deadpool is actually like in love with Spider-Man. So,
all right, let's do Black Panther versus Wolverine.
Don't you do it. Don't you do it. I knew he was going to do it.
Oh, wait.
Black Panther versus
First off,
I'm going to go straight
Wolverine would be nothing if it wasn't for Black Panther and that vibranium that is in.
Thank you.
If that was not the case, if that did not exist, there would not be a Wolverine with metal claws.
It doesn't exist. We're talking about what is today. And
all right, so what is today is you got Black Panther and you got Wolverine's adamantium claws. So I think Black Panther would win because he probably already knows the weaknesses or how to take down vibranium, probably in all forms. So
Boom.
Black Panther.
And vibranium stronger than adamantium because it's just a mixture of vibranium and something else. So that's number one. Number two, and I'm going to end it with this. What does Wolverine do when Black Panther calls on the dead? Oh, Art.
Calls on the dead. What you mean?
What do Black Panther do?
Exactly. Black Panther can conjure the spirits and he can inherit the power from past Black Panthers. A lot of people don't know that. That's why I said the movie didn't do him justice on what his true powers are. Wolverine, nice. Do not get me wrong. He's one of my top 5 favorite Marvel characters ever. But Black Panther is going to thrash him. Black Panther, at a point in the comic books, was so strong and the world was at so much peace, he would invite people from the Marvel Universe to come and try to beat him. He beat the Fantastic Four by himself. He beat Silver Surfer by himself. He beat Silver Surfer by himself. He beat. Come on, man.
All right.
He conjured the dead.
I'm gonna give it to him on one argument with the whole argument you two just presented with, it being a subject of whatever and a sub base of whatever. Wolverine wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that. Blah blah blah. I'll give you that. Okay. Now I will take it to the base root. Wolverine's original powers and original mutation is he can heal and he does have the bone claws because it's his bone. So that's one. Okay, that's his base form, right?
Yes.
Cool.
But you said we wasn't arguing like that.
Oh, what's Black Panther's base form without the suit? What's his base form?
See, here's the thing. Here's the thing that people forget. It's not the suit because Shuri designed the suit. It's the heart-shaped herb. So it's not the suit. The suit is just an addition because of the vibranium. But it's the heart-shaped herb which gives him the ability.
So he gotta take some drugs first.
Basically.
Essentially.
Yes,
Black Panther got beat up by a nigga from LA.
That's without the herb and stuff though. Like that's
possible.
They just shot the fade.
Avery, I ask you again, what is Black Panther's base form and can that beat Wolverine's base form?
Yes.
Black Panther. We're not talking about Black Panther. We're not talking about T'Challa versus Logan. We're talking about Black Panther versus Wolverine.
I was just putting it out there.
Yeah, I mean,
all the extra,
You can't pick and choose forms.
Right. Because if we're talking about that, if we're talking about base forms, like Logan's base form is human, just like T'Challa. He got experimented on.
He's mutant though.
He got experimented on.
He's a mutant.
No, he's a mutant first.
He's a mutant, but he got experimented on.
I'm not that man.
But his base form is a mutant, which is.
Yo, man, it's okay. Yo, man, it's cool. I was
Listen.
Black
if we're talking T'Challa versus Logan, easily, I'm taking Logan. But if we're talking Black Panther versus Wolverine,
okay,
I get you. All right.
Okay.
Moving on. For the sake of time, let's do Thor versus Captain America.
Ooh.
Oh, that's easy.
Is it?
Yeah.
Mike, who do you say?
All right, so All right. So, uh, so I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. Captain America would win this fight. All right. What? Don't that. All right. Here's what you need to decipher between. All right. So
lay it out for him, Mike. Lay it out.
So originally, when let's just go back to the first Avengers movie, when it's Cap, Thor, and Iron Man just in the woods, just horsing around, right?
Okay.
Thor hits Cap's shield with the boom, and then there's fight. But
vibranium, excuse me.
You're right. No, vibranium is correct. So here's the deal with that, right? By the end, Endgame, we find out, oh man, Cap can definitely wield that hammer, no problem. So that means he knew pretty much all along that he was worthy of wielding that hammer. And he could summon thunder, and he could do just about anything that Thor could do.
Except
so it comes down to willpower. Out of the two of them, who has the more willpower? I'll wait for your answer.
Okay. Out of the two of them, who has more willpower, I'm going to probably say Thor. He's a warrior. Now, with that being said, we have to forget the thunderous rage that Thor has. People, again, the movies don't do the powers justice. When Thor goes into thunderous rage version of Thor, he's darn near unbeatable. Like it's too much for anyone.
A little bit in Ragnarok.
Like a little taste of what it really could be. Like, and we're talking about without the hammer. Like the dude is ridiculous. They don't call him he's a god for no reason. Like they're speculating, can he actually die? Cap can. Like they don't know if Thor can die. And let's be honest, he might not be able to die because remember, Odin's a celestial. Like, and he's his son, so he might be immortal.
Might be. I mean,
going with Cat.
You going with who said?
I'm going with Cat.
Really?
I'm going with Cat because of things that Mike said.
Oh my gosh.
Take the thing and hit him with the thing.
Look,
so I'm going with Cat.
That was a good argument, though, Mike. That was a very strong argument.
What was Endgame? What was happening in Endgame? Thor was getting his ass whooped by Thanos.
And where was this thunderous rage then?
Cap, yeah, getting his ass whooped. His fat ass whooped. Cap grabbed that hammer and just said, "Nah." He did.
What was the beat?
He did everything. Even listen, the fact that Captain America can wield that hammer and summon thunder,
lightning. I feel you.
You're right, lightning.
That's a very very strong argument. But like I said, the fact that Thor doesn't need the hammer to do it, like all right, okay, Cap, you got my hammer, cool. I can do everything I'm doing without the hammer. So it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like if he really goes into that mode, like again, it's a situation where they're questioning, is Thor the strongest Marvel character, period, not just the strongest Avenger. Like Thor's powers are pretty, like Thor could be likened to like Superman and DC. Like it's kind of OP for real. Like super like God Superman. Like when like that version of Superman is ridiculous, and that version of Thor is likened to that. It's like we don't know if we can beat him, but nobody can beat Bugs Bunny.
So I'll throw in one more thing right before we move on. Just one more thing.
And I'm dead serious about that.
I hear you. So just one more quick thing. So in Ragnarok, Hela breaks Thor's hammer, right? So
Mjolnir.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Yeah. I just didn't want to botch the pronunciation, but thank you, Danelle. So what does he end up having to do to beat her? He has to destroy Valhalla without his hammer. He couldn't do it. So that's just I'm just throwing it out there. The one time he gets his hammer taken away, you know, he does summon thunder, he does summon lightning, but he couldn't get it done without destroying his whole entire homeland. And I'll leave it at that.
See, but that's just fulfilling prophecy. He had to do what he had to do. You know what I'm saying? Like that's different. More importantly, like even like I will say this. I'm upset with Marvel for what they did as far as Ragnarok and everything like that, because I thought they were going to go World War Hulk and they didn't, and I was upset. I was so tight. I was like,
just a small taste of it.
I was gonna say, honestly, I think they did that because World War Hulk would probably be too dark for kids. Like they don't really understand like Hulk was eating people. Like, and I don't think they wanted to do that for
that
kids.
makes sense.
So.
That makes sense.
He's out here eating people.
All right, before we go to a dark place, I'm going to end this episode because I see this taking a whole left. So I want to thank all of my guests, Bowie, Avery, Janelle, Mike. I appreciate y'all, man. You guys are my brothers. Thank y'all for coming on. Thank you for everyone who tuned in and watched another episode of Turn to Your Neighbor. Make sure you follow these guys on their social media platforms. If you like it, hit like, subscribe to the page, share it with a neighbor. Until next time, y'all, be safe. And we out. I appreciate y'all, man. For real. All right, y'all, man.
We got to end. Like, I got to leave the meeting.
Yeah, I was about to say,
get on out of here, man.
So we got to get on out of here. All right.
Just join in the end.
No, really. Leave.
Bye, Mike.
Go home.
All
See
right,
you later.
Jean Grey is the strongest of them all.
Wrong.